Okay, this is on practical van talk. As you know, I'm out at Pancho Villa. It's in the 80s today, and we're in the very heat of the day at the moment. And I have had the AC on. Now, I've got the AC off. I don't know if I turned it. Yeah, I turned it off. And I wanted to see about boondocking. So I've got my Fantastic Fan. Now, these are lifesavers. The Fantastic Fan will help to pull the heat out of your van. And what you do is you open the window on the side where you've got the most shade. So where you've got your sun pointing, you want to open the opposite window. And right now, with the Fantastic Fan going up, I have this opened about that much, and it is just pulling that air in here, and it's pleasant, you know, it's pleasant. Now, what I did though, now I've done that before, and in 70-degree weather, it was so hot I couldn't stand it because I didn't have the windows insulated. So what I did this time is I took that, you know, you can buy the silver bubble like you got in your front window, those expandable things, and I cut them to fit my windows. Like here, you could see, turn this around. You could see it there. You can see the silver. So I of course, cannot see out of there at the moment, but it really is making a difference with heat because I have a lot of windows in the van. Now, I like a lot of windows. I like to be able to see out. And but the heat of the day, I wanted to see, because there's absolutely no shade out here at all. Okay. If you had shade in the 80s like that, I'd be able to continue to have my back doors open. Now, I've had them open most of the day today, but then again, I was also had the AC running. But I wanted to see, you know, if I'm boondocking, how much heat can you take? Okay. Now, if you've got shade, it's about 10 degrees less than if you don't have shade. So it makes a huge difference. So if it's 90 and you've got shade, it's, you know, in the 80s. And then with the Fantastic Fan, with my insulated windows. Now, I did the insulation for the back windows. I did the side window. I did the passenger and driver's window. Plus the, because this is road track, we have those 3 windows up above. I did those as well. Okay. So the only windows I don't have fully insulated are my side windows here. Because I use as, you know, I want to be able to look out a window, you know. So if I wanted to see, I would leave this one open because the sun is shining on the other side. So, of the van, the heat of the day. So this one I can open and can see out. And it's fine. Now it looks like we have some clouds maybe coming in, but today it's been really direct sunlight. But I've got a nice breeze coming in through there now, and like I said, I'm just using my fantastic fan, and it pulls the air out through. Now I do have another fan I can plug in to my house battery. It's made by Fantastic Fan as well if I needed even more air being pulled through. So, yeah, it's actually pleasant coming in. But I did have to close these back windows because even though it's not coming through there, that air out there is hot, and I have the screen is black, and that was absorbing heat as well. So, but this is pleasant. I mean, this would be doable. Absolutely, this would be doable. Now, yesterday, it was 90 out, but the sun was behind the clouds. So basically, it's kind of like being in the shade. Even though the temperature was hotter, as long as you didn't have that direct sun beating down on because the vehicle is, it's metal, okay? Metal heats up. So as long as the sun was, behind the clouds, and even at 90, it was quite fine. And part of it is having the insulated windows now too. That really makes a difference. What is with my light here? Anyway. So yeah, for those that are doing van life, if you have the Fantastic Fan, and and you're in the van, they can be a big help, and insulating the windows also can be a big help in your van life. So most of my people watching know I'm not full-time now. I was full-time. I was living in my van full-time for a little over a year, maybe year and a half. I had been in the van, and I had left Florida, was putting my house up to sale, and then COVID hit. COVID hit right after I left Florida. And so my house sat there for a year. Nobody was going to look at property. Nothing was happening. So yeah, I lived in my van full-time for over a year. And I have no problem with that, I really enjoy my van life time. I wish I could get out more, rather than being in the sticks and bricks. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm really happy that I have that I could go to if needed. And I do have to go back quite a bit because I have some medical stuff that I've been dealing with, and you have to have basically sticks and bricks if you're a veteran. Okay? And if I didn't have all these medical appointments, I would be out here for months at a time. And I'm looking forward to being able to spend a lot more time doing, because for me, some people, van life is difficult. They're not out there by choice. They're out there because they've kind of been relegated there. I couldn't afford to have any property or anything in California. There's no way. New York or California, no way. I couldn't afford a closet out there. So, the only reason I have property is because it's much, much more inexpensive in New Mexico. And, you know, like I said, I'm happy. I got a killer deal, I think, on my property compared to what it was in Florida. So my property from the sale of my house in Florida just rolled it over into the down on the house out here, and my mortgage for the house is just about as much as what it cost me for the van. Okay, so I pay almost as much for my van as a month as is the property, the property's monthly payment. Okay, so like I said, it was a killer deal. Went from the property went from in Florida, I think it was like $1,700 a month property, and now it's like $400. So huge difference in what is owed. Okay. And I much prefer New Mexico than I did living in Florida. Just the ambiance of it, everything about it, it's so much more relaxed than in Cray-Crayville in Florida. It's like driving in Florida, it's like running the gauntlet daily. Crazy. So no, much, much better out here. But anyway, mainly I wanted to talk about, you know, if you're doing the van and you're thinking about doing van life, if you are, I know a lot of people are doing their own van builds, and I've seen some absolutely gorgeous van builds. Very impressed with them. Now, before I got my road trek, I did have a regular van. And I set it up Japanese style, like with tatami, and it was very, I'm back to my Oriental thing, but in that one, it was not one that you could stand up in, and for me, you know, I'm in my 70s, that is not so comfortable for me to be having that type of a thing. Now, I had it set out. It was cute and it was workable, but you know, it was comfortable. I had found a way to have a restroom in there and everything, but the fact that I could not stand up in it was a deal breaker in the end for me. So that's why, you know, I gave up that van and I found the road trek, and this has been lovely. Now, I did have another van before I had the road trek, and I had some problems with it. So sold that one and then bought my road trek. But if you are doing a van build, I know a lot of people want to build their own van. Think about a fantastic fan, because it really does make a world of difference in being able to stay cooler. Make sure you have side windows that you can open so you can have it pulling through. And again, the thing to do is the side that's not in the sun is the side you want to open, because that's the side that's going to pull in cooler air. If you have pulling it through the window that the sun is beating on, then that air is going to be hot coming in. So you don't want that. Before I knew about this, I did that, and that was not pleasant. You don't want to do that. Live and learn, okay? But yeah. And you know, your van, you can decorate it and make it homey, make it livable. I see some of them, and people are just, you know, they could do so much more with it to make it personalized. Make it your own. Make it feeling like it belongs to you. If you're quirky, do something quirky with it. You know, it's yours. Go and enjoy it. So yeah. Anyway, I'm looking forward to going out and boondocking. I do have a what do you call it? A Bluetti. I have the Bluetti 1500, and I've got the 200. I think it's 200 watt solar that you put out. So I want to go do some boondocking, and I did go boondocking this once and was surprised how well the batteries were working and holding up. Now, I haven't done a lot of boondocking, but I'm really wanting to do that. But like I said, today I'm trying it out. I turned off the AC and just have my fan running. And since I made the little, you just get it and you cut it out to fit your window and you put it in there and it'll hold on its own. As long as you leave it a little larger than the window thing, you don't want to cut it out the exact size because then it may not hold. You want to make it a little larger so it's got something to hold to. But it does, I'm noticing that it does make a huge difference. And then when I have the fantastic fan, what I do is, you can see I have the shower curtain here that's closing off some of the space, so it's cooling a smaller area. Now when I try to cool off the whole van this way, it doesn't work as efficiently. So this works quite well if you're in the cold and you want to heat it. Of course, blocking off some of that helps as well. Also, the insulation in the windows help, whether it's heat or cold. It helps to mitigate some of that. I'm here, Max. What you doing? Look at these two. These two are so... Now, Mei, as a Chinese crested, they lose their teeth early because of the genetics of being a hairless breed. And so she's lost a lot of her teeth. And so Mr. Max had a lot of his teeth pulled as well. So they're both sitting here with the tongue hanging out half the time. That's what I look like with both my dogs. I'm looking at them, they're both... So they're pretty funny. Are you bugging your sister? You going to kiss her now? He's like the bad little brother that just wants to torture his sister. He says, I come over and kiss her, I lick her face, and she doesn't like it. She's like, oh, leave me alone. And he just continues to do it and torture her. He says, sometimes Mama will give us treats and treasures. He says, I just hang on to mine and just torture her with it. She wants to take it. I'm not going to eat it. I'd just rather torture my sister with it. They are just like two kids. He's back kissing her again, and she's like, oh. Yeah. She's like, brother, would you knock it off? Oh, mercy. But anyway, yeah, the main thing is make it your own. And if you are doing a van build, you know, think about the things you need to have in there. But one thing that I would really stress is the fantastic fan, because they can make a world of difference to keep things more comfortable. Okay, so yeah, I'm looking at getting on the road pretty soon and being able to go out and boondock, and really looking forward to that. Or if you are in New Mexico area, killer deal here if you buy the annual pass. Now, for me, if you live in New Mexico and you're a senior, it's $100 for the year. Okay, $100 for the year. You come out if you want the electricity. It's $4 a day to hook up for electric and water, and they got the dump here. So, but you usually have to make a reservation. The reservation costs you $4 a day, so it's $8 a day, and I think it's for the first 3 days you pay the reservation fee for 3 days, and then if you stay for 2 weeks, then from after that 3-day time is $4 a day, which you can't beat that. Usually, unfortunately, I don't get to stay more than 3 days, so it winds up costing me, a little extra. But that's okay. It's still really reasonable. Okay. What, Mr. Max? Yeah. Oh, you two. What, Madame? Madame. You and your long nails. Okay. Oh, these two. They're always wanting attention. Okay. Off. Your nails scratch, May. Troublemaker. Now she's going to push me. Really? You could hair. May, you're so funny. You are. You're a funny girl. Anyway, so I'm going to leave this here for now and just enjoy the breeze coming in. And, yeah. Could do boondocking. Looking forward to it. So thanks for tuning in. Much love and light, and we'll see you on line. Is that right, Max? Yeah.